I've trained calisthenics for 10 years. I've solely focused on strength. But what's on the other side? What can we learn from endurance? This is my journey to running a 70-kilometer ultramarathon in Japan. Okie dokie, boys and girls, it is day 73 of Road to Shimanami, and today, well, it's a pull day, and I'll explain what I'm doing lately for my pulling routine. But yeah, this workout was in the park quite spontaneously because I was going home from work and I just saw my friend in the park, which I always, ride by on my bike, and so I decided to join him. So yeah, that was quite of a spontaneous session. But anyway, what I did this session was basically some one-arm pull-ups and some pull-ups. Now, for me at the moment, my routine is more so to maintain my strength level as I, get better at running. So I'm not really focused on making progress in any specific movement, but I just mix up a bit of strength and a bit of endurance. Now, if you want to progress at a certain thing, for example, strength, it's better to do only strength, right? And if you want to progress at endurance, it's better to only do endurance. If you want to get some general strength, oftentimes I feel like it's better to mix things up and do a bit of both, right? But yeah, that's what I did today. And basically, when you are doing a workout where you do strength as well as endurance, I would say the most important thing is you started with your strength, because guess what? If you take a look at this example, I'm doing a pulling day. If I do my endurance first, and so I start doing some pull-ups, I completely trash myself, and then I go over to one-arm pull-ups, well, I won't be able to do a single rep, or maybe I can, squeeze out one rep after a long rest, but I won't be able to basically do any meaningful training. And that's just simply because, if you go to your limit on the one-arm pull-up, you will have more strength left than when you go to your limit on the normal pull-up, because the normal pull-up requires less strength, and that means that you can push yourself to a further point and still be able to do those pull-ups, if that makes sense, right? If I stop, or if I'm at my limit with one-arm pull-ups, I'll still be able to do pull-ups, but not vice versa, is basically what I'm trying to say. So in these workouts where I basically mix strength and endurance, you will see this for my push workouts as well, I always make sure that the hardest movements are in the beginning. That does not mean that on those strength trainings I go completely to my limit, but I do a decent amount of volume, and then I take a bit of a longer break and I move on to the endurance part. Anyway, for the strength part, if that's still playing, I don't know what's gonna play or when it's gonna play, but for the one-arm pull-ups, that's the strength part. What I try to focus on is to basically get a bit more volume in. I've been, I started well with the one-arm pull-ups, but now I'm in a bit of a, how do I say it? I'm stuck, right? I'm not making progress, and so a plateau, you say, right? I'm in a bit of a plateau, but what I try to focus on in those plateaus is, well, even if my amount of one-arm pull-ups in one set doesn't increase, even if my max reps doesn't increase, that's okay. What I try to aim for instead in those cases is just total volume. So today I did a couple sets of one-arm pull-ups, and I, felt the same weak spot I always do, which is something I will fix separately. But basically, I try to spread out the reps over a couple sets to hit 10 reps in total on each arm, which I don't know if that's gonna be a PR ever since I trained or started training the one-arm pull-ups again, but at least it's a decent volume, and next time I can focus on trying to surpass this and perhaps hit like 12 reps on each arm, right? And as long as that total number keeps increasing, eventually my maximum amount of reps will increase too. I will be able to basically peak myself into a longer set once I have a bigger basis, once I'm capable of doing more pull-ups. And then, for the endurance part, let's talk about that as well. When it comes to the endurance, I did 20 sets of 12 pull-ups today. I didn't show or film every set, but basically 20 sets of 12 pull-ups. It was at the park at a bar I was not used to, and you will see that the form is very bad, but still that's 2 reps more every set compared to last time when I did this workout, 20 sets of 10 at that workout. But basically, I pick some kind of workout, in this case EMOM, and then I try to improve upon it, right? And I always pick something new that I can try and improve upon it. And when I feel that I'm at my limit, I just pick something else. So today, successfully 20 sets of 12, but bad form. So probably, the next time what I will try to improve is the form with the same amount of reps. But, as long as you pick a workout or pick an exercise and you try to improve in different exercises, whether it's reps or form or rest time or whatever, you're gonna head in the right direction and you're gonna get stronger. And especially if you're, getting in the endurance more and more volume. But anyway, that's gonna be it. I'll see you tomorrow.